looking at one of the main differences between a plant and an animal cell. Okay, first and foremost is what? Their shape. What is the shape of a plant cell? It is angled. I love to draw a plant cell as a rectangle because you don't get more angled than that. Okay, none of this hexagon business, but regardless of if it's a hexagon or whatever, its sides are angled. Okay, if it's a hexagon, that's a hexagon. Angled sides. All right, I'm going to draw something that is rectangular. Okay, if I'm an animal cell, what shape am I? I'm round, right? So here we go. Now, what is another main difference between plants and animal cells? Okay, so the nucleus is different. So number one was their shape, right? A kind of rectangular angled for plants, round for animals. Jill says number two is the nucleus. She says in plants, the nucleus is off to the side, whereas in animal cells, the nucleus, I'm just going to put a big N in here, okay, for nucleus, all right, is central, okay? What's another main difference between the two? Plant cells have a cell wall. Do animal cells have a cell wall? No. So, I actually drew my cell wall in green here. So I'm going to draw something else on the inside here. What am I actually drawing on the inside?
Your membrane.
My cell membrane. And just to show you the similarities between an animal cell and a plant cell, I drew them both in the same color. Okay, this is cell membrane, cell membrane. In green, we've got our cell wall. Okay? The cell wall is always on the outside because it is what provides structural support. Animal cells don't need that structural support because their cells change kind of shape every once in a while. They need that flexibility to allow us to locomote. No flexibility, no locomotion. Okay? Cell wall, no locomotion. Because there's zero flexibility in it. Okay? What's another big difference?
There's vacuoles.
Oh, vacuoles. Huge difference. What is it in the plant cell?
It's in the plant cell and it's like reservoirs.
Okay, but how are they different? So if I am in a plant cell and I'm a water vacuole, plant cells have few numbers. Usually 1, 2, max 3. Okay? But it's often only drawn as one very large water vacuole. And it's so large that that's what pushes the nucleus off to the side. Okay? So this is my water vacuole. Animal cells, on the other hand, they've got lots of tiny little water vacuoles. And they're all over the cell. They're all over the cytoplasm of the cell. So they may or may not have, they've got similar amounts of water inside them. Okay? Whereas in the plant cell, it's all in one big reservoir. In the animal cell, it's in many small reservoirs. Okay? What is another big difference? Yeah, at the back. Chloroplast. If I am, and who has that? Plants have chloroplasts. Animal cells do not. Chloroplasts are kind of like jelly bean-like little, sort of cylinders, but not quite. And inside them is a green pigment, and it's laid flat like a stack of, there's many stacks of pancakes in there. What is that green pigment called? Chlorophyll. Okay, and it's easy to remember in a colored image. Most often your chloroplasts will always be drawn green because they're full of chlorophyll. Okay, so this is chloroplast. Now, why would an animal cell not have chloroplast?
Because it can locomote, so it can get its own food.
Because at the end of the day, it can locomote, and it does not. It has to locomote because it is incapable of making its own food. Okay, it does not have a cafeteria inside. There's no food court inside this cell. And that's essentially what chloroplasts are because they make sugar. Okay, they're a cafeteria. All right, or they're a restaurant that you can go in your drive-through. You can just get food, you can get sugar. Okay? What's another big difference? I believe it could be the last one.
Plant cells have a cilia on the outside.
No, they do not. Plant cells do not have that.
Oh, animals.
Thank you. Animal cells, and not all animal cells. Okay, case in point, the vast majority of the cells in the human body do not have cilia on them or a flagellum. Okay, two flagella, one flagellum. Okay, a flagellum is like one big, and actually I don't even want to draw that in that color, we'll draw it in red. Okay, one big whip-like tail. And the cool thing about this tail is it spins in a spiral. And it acts just like a motor does on the end of a boat. You put a motor on, you crank it on, and the blades of the motor spin like this, and it pushes, it basically moves the water out of the way, and it propels the boat ahead. That's exactly what a flagellum does. If you have cilia, like a paramecium, cilia are many, many little hairs all over the actual organism. Okay? All over. And this surrounds it. It's like a small little afro. And these hairs all beat together. They all move in the same direction at the same time. It's like these hairs are doing the breaststroke, every one of them. And it's propelling the actual cell forwards. It's like all of them are little canoe paddles, and they're all paddling in the same direction, and it causes the cell to move in that direction. Animal cells can do that. Plant cells cannot. Plant cells have an inability to locomote. Therefore, they will not have organelles that allow for locomotion, for movement like that. Okay?